Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, I guess this is breaking news just a couple hours ago by Scott D. Pierce of the Salt Lake Tribune. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is shutting down all operations regarding Welfare Square. What do you think this means? LDS Church makes its biggest one-time charitable donation ever. The church is a charity. Why, as a charity, are they giving to other charities? What's the point of being a charity? They have the knowledge to be a charity. They have the system in place to be a charity. And instead, the church, if you hadn't noticed, is always giving token amounts. 32 million? That's their biggest amount? This is nothing. Literally, it's nothing. Ensign Peak Advisors whistleblower from 2019 told us that for the $100 billion that they had, they annually get more than $7 billion. 100 billion? If I said million, it's billion. 7 billion annually in interest alone. And it just sits there. 7 billion. Say that would be 10%? Less than 10%? 5%? Plus or minus? And it's even worse than that, because Ensign Peak Advisors is only the reserve of the tithing. They take 10% of tithing and put it into Ensign Peak Advisors. So the actual tithing, therefore, 90%, 900 billion. Yeah, billion, not million, billion. And it doesn't cost that much to build the temples and maintain them, and the churches and maintain them, even after the fires that have occurred. No, it's several billion. So we're still looking at almost 900 billion just sitting around somewhere not being used. 32 million? That's even worse. Because 9 billion is 10%. And so 1% is 900 million. And then 0.1% would be 9 million. Or 90 million. Sorry. And so it's a third of that. The church just will not give sufficient for charity, but they're not doing anything with the resources they started. They refuse to expand further than they have. And as a result, they're becoming worthless. They're just focusing on Jesus. It's like they don't care to do anything else. They're not taking care of the poor, not taking care of the needy, not taking care of the sick, not taking care of the afflicted. They're just all about priestcraft. And making the news for 32 million as being their biggest amount, which is nothing. See, all the extra money from all their sources of income, yeah, it's all laundered in offshore money accounts, bank accounts. That's what the Australian news discovered. And Nelson came out in response to the whistleblower and says, yes, we're violating tax code because we're saving all this for the second coming. Are they going to give it to Joseph Smith's Christ? Because Jesus doesn't exist. Will they? Since I'm the only one who knows about it, I'll take it on behalf of Joseph Smith's Christ. I'll put it to better use. But, yeah, they purposely said this is the pattern they do in everything. In all of their sources of income, this is the pattern. They take 10% out, put it into an investment firm, whether an LLC company or Ensign Peak Advisors type company. And it's all different accounts. So no one account knows the full amount of the church's assets. They're purposely keeping it a secret, even from the members, even from those who are in the business helping the church. And we're just supposed to go, wow, the church is so awesome. They give so much. They're the charity, and they're not giving, except to give to other charities. They run this shelter, but instead they give to the food bank to give to us. And so we don't get actual meals. We get supplements. We'll have hot dog buns, no hot dogs. We'll have ketchup packets, nothing to put it on. It's not that bad, but you can see what I mean. The hot dog buns is real. We've had so many times where the roll is a hot dog bun or a hamburger bun. It's because it's the food bank. The food bank only gives supplements to help. You're supposed to buy the main food, and that what they give you is a supplement. And so if they don't give you hot dogs with the hot dog buns, you then have to go and buy the hot dog buns. But this place doesn't receive enough money for that kind of a purchase. We rely on donations. As such, we get treated like crap as those who are the homeless. And the church is involved. They're on the board. And they refuse to do anything about it. Compare this with the Catholic Church here in Utah. They have their shelter downtown. They have a shelter. It's not big enough, but they do what they can. They have people that actually make meals for the homeless. They do what they can. In church, like I said, $7 billion every year in interest. And it just sits and collects more interest. And more, and more, and more. It's almost 2023 now. It's been since 2019. That's a lot of interest to be gaining over these course of years. And it just sits. They're waiting for Jesus to come. And they know Jesus doesn't exist. They know. Not just because I've told them so in lawsuits. They know because they're white supremacists. They want you not to know that Joseph Smith was a Jew. That our Christ is under the learning of the Jews. You know, that phrase from the Book of Mormon that says that the Book of Mormon was written in the learning of the Jews. Therefore, it's not Jesus that's in there, even though it says Jesus. It's code. Shh. Secret. And so, yeah, they just... Bishop L. Todd Budge says, we're so grateful. He's bearing testimony. The gratitude. Bishop L. Todd Budge. So grateful. Church is so true because we're grateful. I'm grateful. We give. We don't do anything. So what the church should have done? But, they're not going to. But knowing the growth of the church and the needs of a growing church, they should have expected to do this. And of course they didn't, but this is what you do. have a Bishop Storehouse for the poor, right here for Salt Lake City. And then as you branch out, you expand, so that the storehouses can expand with the need, supply and demand. But they don't want to be communist. It's like they think that charity is being communist, and they don't get it. And I can understand, because if charities are just giving away stuff constantly because people need food constantly, they can't just give them food one time and I did my duty. What do you mean you're hungry? I gave you food last week. You know, those kinds of things. You need a system set up to perpetually produce food. And that's, you know, farming is one such method. But, yeah, the church has their farms, but they're not using them to that end. And as a result, this is just a joke. And I don't think Scott D. Pierce catches on to the joke. He works for the Tribune, now owned by the church. They've silenced the Tribune. Just a joke. A joke.